Alright, so today I want to talk about the Type 5 and how that combines with the INFJ. I made a list here of different characteristics of this combination just to make things a little easier and so I don't forget any key points that I want to mention. So, one thing with this combination is well, when you look at the cognitive functions, so you got NI and FE for the INFJ. When you combine that with the Type 5, it creates some interesting characteristics. Because with the 5 likes to know as much as it can about a subject. It wants to understand how things work and why things are the way they are, especially as it pertains to what they're interested in. With NI and FE, there's naturally a lean and interest in understanding people and human behavior and human nature and why people do what they do. So the INFJ is already naturally leaning towards that. Now, when you add a 5 there, that's magnified even more. And one thing you'll find with this combination is that they're like natural experts at human behavior. They can understand sort of the dynamics and the whys behind different types of behaviors and expressions. And that's something that most people don't do. Most people, when they're trying to figure out what someone's doing or what's actually going on behind a situation, most people are going to be generalizing. They make judgments off of maybe one or two layers of information, and they don't actually look at what's behind the action or behavior. And that's something that this type does. They look behind the behavior to see. It's like looking at the actual thought process that's going on behind the behavior, the why behind the why behind the why. And this type is naturally interested in that, so they're going to be spending more time and they're going to seek to understand the personal details of why someone is being a certain way or why someone is the way they are or behind their actions. Another thing I've noticed with this type too is that they they're usually quite intelligent and not necessarily intelligence as in IQ or in academics, even though they can be really good at that. But I mean intelligence as in their drive to learn things. They have a very strong curiosity and drive to learn, and their openness to new concepts and new information, and then their ability to interpret and understand the information that they collect. This combination is, from what I've seen and what I've observed, is they're very good at these things, and it's something that just comes naturally to them. This type is going to spend more time getting to a point where they feel like they're ready to do something. There's more of a preparation and a need for readiness before action, and they'll spend a lot of time doing this to collect their whatever resources they feel or think they need, whatever knowledge they need to feel confident to act. In some cases, this type has an undeveloped extroverted feeling, or they don't put their extroverted feeling into use as often as most INFJs, because their mental world is so active. This is what makes this type especially prone to like NITI loops, and they can get stuck in that sort of loop for a very long time and get just really distant from FE and from people, and it's because of this whole mental world that they have, and they feel like they can just mentalize things all the time, and they get really comfortable in their heads that they sort of distance themselves from people. And that's just a little bit about this particular combination. There's more I can elaborate on and describe. It's a very interesting type, very unusual because of the feeling and the thinking that comes together. It's both worlds of feeling and thinking that are coming together in this type in very strong ways. And that's confusing to people. It's confusing to the person themselves usually. And it's interesting. I think it's interesting. And I don't see many videos about this, so I decided to put this out there just to get something out there on YouTube. You don't see this type in general coming out on YouTube, so I just wanted to put something out about this, and I hope you guys found it interesting, and I'll see you in the next video.